Hello. All right, guys. So I was just gonna do three problems for law of sines. Um, so yeah, let's just dive right in. As a reminder, there is the law of sines right there. My understanding is that you don't have to memorize that; that we're going to provide that for you on your assessment. But there it is in case you want it. Some of you might have also learned it flipped, like A over sine A equals B over sine B equals C over sine C. Same exact thing. It'll get you to the same place. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna do three problems, and I'm stealing these out of your book. So I'm in chapter 7.2, I believe, page 551. I'm doing a couple of problems from there. So if you would like to do some extra problems, I'm starting on number 9, and all the problems number 9 through 36, those are all some nice fun example problems. So let's start. I'm going to do number 10 real quick. And number 10 is actually, it drew a triangle for you, but I'm going to give you just the, I'm going to list out what the angles and sides are, because that's how you're going to see it on an assessment. So let's see, we have angle B equals 40 degrees, side C equals 4, and angle A equals 45 degrees. So like I said, you always want to draw sketch your triangle out so you can kind of see what you're working with and whether or not you have an angle side angle situation, a side angle situation, which is an ambiguous case, or that's SSA or ASS, or a side angle side. Now I can see here that I have two angles given, right? So I know that it's not an ambiguous case, because an ambiguous case, remember, is ASS or SSA. So I need two sides for the ambiguous case, but I have two angles given here. So I know this is not an ambiguous case. So I'll be able to say with confidence, I only have one solution to work toward here. So I'm just going to label my sides, which this is little a, little b, little c. So remember, the angle is here and the sides are just opposite to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. This is 45 degrees. This is 40 degrees, and then side C is equal to 4. So we have, looks like an angle side angle situation, right? So I know that's going to be law of sines. So, excuse me. So right off the bat, I can see, boom, I can find out angle C super easy, because if you remember, and I talked about this in the video yesterday, all of the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So what I can just do is I can say, hey, 180 minus 45 minus 40 degrees, that should be equal to the measure of angle C. So then I can get my little calculator and say to my calculator, calculate this. 180 minus 45 minus 40 degrees is in fact, I don't know why I always try to show you that, 95 degrees. So 95 degrees is equal to angle C. Okay, so now I can use that information and figure out the missing sides, because I have side C, so I know now I have a ratio that is going to be complete. I have this ratio right here, sine C over C is going to be complete, which means I can use that to find some of the other ones. So I'm going to start with sine A over A, and then I have to have sine C over C, because this is the ratio that I know for sure. So I'm going to say, okay, so the sine of 45 degrees over sine A equals the sine of 95 degrees over 4. And then what I talked about in the last video is doing a little cross multiplication action. So I've got 4 times the sine of 45 degrees equals A times the sine of 95 degrees, which means 4 times the sine of 45 degrees divided by the sine of 95 degrees, y'all, is equal to A. So that's what I'm going to type in my calculator, because I don't want to do any rounding in the middle of the problem. So I'm going to say 4 times the sine of 45 equals, don't write that down because I don't want you to round it, divided by the sine of 95 degrees. This is the one that you can round. That's okay to round. So that's going to be 2.839 equals A. They did not give us units in the problem, so I'm okay just leaving it 2.839. Now, y'all, I just need to do the exact same thing to find side B. So I'm going to use sine of B over B equals sine of C over C. I would really like for you to write out which ratios you're using, just because it makes it a little bit easier for me to follow your work. So that's going to be the sine of 40 over B equals the sine of 95 degrees over 4. And technically, guys, you could use sine of A over A, but I always go back to the one that I know for sure. So if, just in case I messed that guy up, I'm not going to put a wrong ratio up here. So I like to go back to the one that I know. So I'm using sine of C. Okay, do some quick cross multiplication. And I can tell you that B is going to be equal to 4 times the sine of 40 degrees divided by the sine of 95 degrees. So I'm going to type that in. 4 times the sine of 40 equals, divided by the sine of 95 equals. So B is equal to 2.581. Okay, y'all, I said in the first video that I recorded, I would really like for you to write all of your all of the unknowns in one box kind of together. So I'm going to put, okay, angle C is 95 degrees. That's what I found. Side A is 2.839 and side B is 2.581. I'm going to put a box around that so you can see it. Hooray. All right, so that's number 10. Booyah. All right, now I'm going to skip over to, let's do number 12. Should we do number 12? Yeah, let's do number 12. Okay. So let's say angle B is equal to 30 degrees, side B is equal to 10, and angle C is equal to 125 degrees. So once again, I have 2 angles, so I know that this is not an ambiguous case. I know that I'm going to have one solution. I don't need to do all my finagling to figure out how many solutions I have. I do want to, oh golly, I do want to sketch this just so I have kind of an idea of what my triangle looks like. So A, B, C, let's make that 30. Oh, this is not to scale at all. Did I not draw? What is happening up here? That was 125 degrees. I don't know if I said that out loud. I definitely didn't write it out loud. So that was a problem. Oh no, let me pause and recharge my pencil real quick. Okay, Apple Pencil charged. I think we're back in business. Okay, so C is 125 degrees. Oh my gosh, I apologize again for this not being to scale at all. I'm so sorry. It's fine. Okay, so once again, y'all, I have 2 angles, which means that third angle is going to be super, super easy because all I need to do is say, oh, 180 minus 30 minus 125 is going to be the measure of angle A. So let's do 180 minus 30 minus 125. 25 degrees is going to be the measure of angle A. Hooray! Okay, so now let's find our missing sides. I'm going to use angle B and side B down here as my first ratio. So I'm going to say sine of B over B. And then do you want to find, what I want you to get into the habit of really is finding the largest angle first. It doesn't really matter with law of sines, but for law of cosines, you definitely want to always prioritize the largest angle. So let's go ahead and find C. So sine of C over C. We're going to use that because it's the largest angle. So that means I have sine of 30 degrees over 10 equals the sine of 125 degrees over C. I didn't finish labeling my triangle, y'all. I'm falling behind. Falling behind. Okay, using some fancy cross multiplication, I know that 10 times the sine of 125 degrees divided by the sine of 30 degrees is equal to side, whoopsie, get carried away there. I wanted to make that a little c, side C. So let's do that in here. 10 times the sine of 125 is that, and then divided by the sine of 30. So 16.383 is equal to C. Okay, and now let's go ahead and find side A. So I'm going to go back to sine B and side B because I know those for sure. I'm not estimating those. I actually know what those are. So sine B over B equals sine A over A. So it's going to be the sine of 30 degrees over 10 equals the sine of 25 degrees over A. Do your little cross multi-multi, shablam, shablam. So I know that 10 times the sine of 25 degrees divided by the sine of 30 degrees is equal to A. So 10 times the sine of 25 equals, divided by the sine of 30, 8.45 equals A. All right, and then again, I'm going to write all of my my found sides and angles down here. So angle A was 25 degrees, side A was 8.45, and side C was 16.383. Yeah, yay. Okay, y'all, I'm going to do one more for y'all. And that is going to be number 35, which means I have turned the page. Shablam. So here we go. This is A equals 2, C equals 1, and angle C equals 25 degrees. So, ooh, we have two sides and an angle. So this might be an SSA or ASS situation, which means we're going to be looking at an ambiguous case. So I'm not sure if we're gonna have one solution, two solutions, or maybe no solutions. Let's draw this puppy and find out. So I posted a video just a little while ago with instructions on how to figure out how many solutions you might possibly have. So I'm going to show you again on this. This is 25 degrees. It's going to be my C, which means the opposite side is 1. And then I'm going to make this side A over here. So this is an angle side situation. So this is an ambiguous case. So here's what I'm going to do, and I know this is different from what I told you yesterday. So if you want to do what I told you yesterday, on Monday, where I was just like, just do the math, just start solving it. You can do that. That's fantastic. I'm kind of trying to combine the videos that I posted on Monday and today to see if we can figure out, give you multiple ways to do it. So if you just want to start solving using your law of sines, go for it, like rock and roll McDonald's. I'm just going to double check and see how many sides we have. So boop, 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 boop. This is my height. So I'm going to say the sine of 25 degrees equals h over 2. So 2 times the sine of 25 degrees equals h. So 2 times the sine of 25. And if you have no idea what I'm doing right now, stop this video, go back and watch the one that says number of solutions for law of sines. That's the one you need to go watch. So I know that this is 0.845, and the opposite side is 1. So that means that side C is greater than H, but ooh, side C is less than A, which means, y'all, I'm going to have 2 possible triangles out of this. I'm going to have 2 possible triangles. Okay, so I have 2 solutions here, which is fine. We can do it. Let's get started. So I'm going to start. I have the angle C and side C, so that's going to be my first ratio. And then I have A, so let's use angle A and side A as our next ratio. So let's get all this in. The sine of 25 over 1 equals the sine of A, which I don't know, over 2. do some cross multiplication. I don't even, like, check this out. It's going to be 2 times the sine of 25 degrees equals 1 times the sine of A, which is just the sine of A. So 2 times the sine of 25 is, oh, that's the math that I just did over yonder. So that's 0.845 equals the sine of A. So now we're going to need to, since I don't know what the angle is, I need to use the inverse sine function. This, to my knowledge, is not on the unit circle, so I have to use my calculator. So what I'm going to do to find A is I'm going to take the inverse sine of 0.845 equals A. So I'm going to hit second on my calculator, sine, and then 0.845, and that is 57.67. So 57.67 degrees equals angle A. Okay, so let me go ahead and just complete my triangle for the sake of having something to draw in. So this is 57.67 degrees. Now remember, we have 2 possible triangles, so that is just one possible angle for angle A. There is going to be another one, right? So let's make sure and draw both of them. Or now, this is what I talked about in my last video, so I'm going to show you real quick. I know that if I'm looking for, so the sine of angle A is 0.845. If I'm looking for the angle that has that sine, sine is the y value, right? So that means that I went up 0.845 right here on the unit circle, right? I know that there's another angle over here in quadrant 2 that also has a sine of 0.845. So to find that other possible angle, since I know I have 2 solutions, what I'm going to do, I know that this angle that I found out, boop, 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 right there, was 57.67. Was that what it was? That's what we found out, right? Yeah, 57.67 degrees. So what I'm going to do to find this angle right here, the red angle, let me draw that a little bit better. The red angle, I know that the whole angle across the top there is 180 degrees. So I'm just going to do 180 degrees minus this little button right here, which is also going to be 57.67 degrees. So let's do that. So 180 degrees minus 57.67 degrees. So 180 minus 57.67. So 122.33 degrees could also equal A. So there's my 2 possible solutions. And remember what that means is that this could also come down like this. Let me actually draw that in a separate color. The side come down like this, and my angle A would be this one. So it's an obtuse angle, making this triangle right there, right? Okay, so now I have 2 angles to work with, so now I need to go from there. So I have angle C already, I have angle A, I have 2 possibilities for angle A, right? I have this possibility for angle A right here too. What was that? 122.33. So now I need to find out what angle B is, and I'm going to have 2 possibilities for angle B. So let's do, oh, let's keep this one in green. Or let's make this one green. So I'm going to make that one green over there so we know that those are 2 different things. So for this one, angle B is going to be 180 degrees minus angle A minus angle C, which was 25 degrees. 25 equals B, so 180 minus 57.67 minus 25 equals 97.33 degrees for B. Or, let me switch over to green, 180 minus 122.33 minus 25. Let's scooch that over a little bit. 180 minus 122.33 minus 25 is 32.67 degrees. So let me, oh my goodness, let me write, I don't know why I'm trying to like cram this all in over there, equals B equals B. So I have two different possibilities for angle A, which means I have two different possibilities for angle B, right? So that's what's happening there. Let me scooch those up a little bit, like so we're all on the same line. Okay, so now, since I have two possibilities for angle A, two possibilities for angle B, that means that I have two possibilities, that's right, for side B, because depending on what that measured angle was it this angle right here, or was it this angle right here? So I'm gonna have two different possibilities for side B. So I have to do two different little law of sines calculations. So I'm going to say, hey, sine B over B equals sine C over C. I am going to use sine C since those are the ones that I know for sure. So for this sine B, I'm going to use that angle. So I'm going to say the sine of 97.33 degrees over B equals the sine of C was 25 degrees over, and then side C was 1. What a delightful number. Do a little cross multiplication. So 1 times the sine of 97.33 divided by the sine of 25 degrees. That's going to get me side B. So let's do that. Sine of 97.33 equals divided by the sine of 25. And I got 2.34, 7, let's say it's B. And again, they didn't give us any units, which makes me a little sad, but that's what we're working with. And then I'm gonna do the exact same thing over here, y'all, except I'm gonna use a different angle for B. I'm gonna use the new angle that I found over here. So sine of 32.67, let me make that a little bit more of a 6, degrees over B equals sine of 25 degrees over 1. And then we're going to do our cross multiplication. So that's going to be 1 times the sine of 32.67 degrees divided by the sine of 25 degrees equals B. Let me put that in my calculator. So sine of 32.67 equals divided by sine of 25 equals, okay, it is 1.277 equals B. Okay, so once again, I would love for you to put the answers into little boxes for me. So I have angle A is 57.67. And then going along with that, angle B is 97.33. And these are degrees. Don't forget those units. And then side B was 2.347. Or I have angle A was 122.33 degrees. Angle B was 32.67 degrees. And side B was 1.277. So there are my two possible answers for number 35. Okay, so like I said, if you want to do some of those practices, those are on page 551 and 552 of your textbook in section 7.2. This has gone on far too long, so I'm going to stop it here. Please make sure that you are staying hydrated, you're drinking lots of water, you're not eating a bunch of junk food all the time if you can help it. If you're able, please make sure that you're getting good sleep during this crazy time, and hopefully you're thinking about a little bit of math. As usual, come talk to me if you need to. Send me an email, come to my Zooms. Other than that, y'all, I'm signing off. I'll see you on the flip side.